Okay, we've just come out of the Security Council because we've been informed that whatever the size of the protest, a principled protest, is taking place in front of the United Nations about Burundi. Soon we will cross and interview the protester. Not even a protester. It's a sad thing that's happened to Burundi. Today in the noon briefing, there was a lot of talk and spin and round about the Syria talks. Admittedly a large issue, but nothing. Even when inner city press asked about the Burundi talks, the readout was laughable. It was a joke. It was an afterthought. The main, what's happening? The head of UN peacekeeping, Herve Ladsous, with his own history in the Great Lakes region, is poised to take 800 additional peacekeepers from Burundi, many despite the human rights violations, use them in Central African Republic, where there's a history of sexual abuse. It's a nasty business. Mr. Ladsous today in front of the Security Council refused to answer any questions as per usual. But here, across the street, is an individual who will, we believe, answer questions. UN deploying Burundi troops in CAR, AMISOM, equals funding violence in BDI. Hello. Nice to see you. Sorry, I was all...
Nice to see you, Mr.
Okay. What brings you here today?
Yes, as you can see, I'm coming just denouncing what the UN is doing in Burundi.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see on the board, they are really funding this government, which has been already indicted that its forces is already on raping lists in Central Africa, a country that we all know that cannot control its own people, a country which is on war, a country which has threatened the peacekeepers that once they may force in, they may be fought back. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me to see the UN allowing Burundi again to be a member of the UN peacekeeping mission.
They made some, just to say, they didn't allow the police contingent to return to CAR, but from what I've heard, Herve Ladsous of DPKO is about to take 800 renewed peacekeepers in CAR, which is a lot of... I don't know where do you know where the payments, do they actually go to the soldiers or to the government?
The money, that's why that I'm here. The money, that's why that I say that the UN is just funding this government. This money is being used to pay the militia, is being used to manipulate everyone in the country. That's why that we can never have peace. I'm here to say to Ban Ki-moon, the Secretary General, to know that all the troubles that are going on, Burundians should know that they are being caused by this building. I mean, with the money that they are pouring in, we have no longer armies, but we have mercenaries. Our forces are now more committed to the United Nations peacekeeping mission than our own countries. You can't just explain to me how we have people leaving the country going to defend other people, why that their families are in danger, why that their families are being raped and killed. It doesn't make sense at all. And to say something about the United Nations, I'm here to say, he said on Monday on Sudan, that a country that is not able to protect its own people, the international community has a right to intervene. I don't know what they're waiting for, Burundi. It has already shown that the country cannot secure the security for its own citizens. But yet, this government is still working with it. We have Ambassador Abeshingiro in this building. What is he doing? Why is he in the building?
Well, he seems to have 2 Twitter accounts. That we know about it.
I mean,
as inner city press has reported.
They are master of corruption. They know how to blind people's eyes. But I think that the UN knows what's going on. And as an individual activist, I will never renounce. I'll be always coming here to claim UN stopping whatever that is doing. It's time just, to act as they are not doing in South Sudan. They say that in South Sudan, he said it on Monday on the 11th, that he asked the UN Security Council to send more soldiers, more more peacekeepers, even helicopters. That's what should happen. And I remember him saying on the Youth Day that he's encouraging the youth to speak up for their countries, that they are the engine of the change. Yes, that's why that I'm here. I think that the whole country is corrupt. They know. What we need is just putting on, indict the whole leader of the country. They already know that they're corrupt. They already know that they are committing crimes. They should be arrested without any negotiation. We don't need any negotiation. They should be arrested first and then promote a country which is built on law, not on just impunity.
A couple of months ago, France, which has the pen, they hold the pen, they draft all the documents about Burundi in the Security Council. A couple of months ago, they said they were going to put forward a proposal for police. Are you aware of any progress on that? Has anything happened on that? What do you think of France's role?
We can't trust France at all. You all know the war of France in 1994, genocide of Rwanda. And I want to say something. It's, we're tired. We can support this. We can have the Cold War going on in such small country. These people are just really, this is ridiculous. France knows exactly that it's trying to control over. It's trying to do whatever that it can to stay. But, we already discussed by France of what it has done. They need to stop. We don't need them. We don't need France at all. France has, with the money going to, MONUSCO and AMISOM, we know that there is an account which has been opened in France, facilitating the president to get the money and use it in however he wants. We can't trust France any longer. France hasn't yet responded to the crime that he has committed in Rwanda. We can't trust France. We can neither trust other powers. They need to sit down and stop doing this game that they are doing. We can't just, we can be the game on this Cold War thing.
What do you think about the Arusha talks? I asked today at the noon briefing about if there was any progress. What do you think?
Thank you for asking me some
closely.
I want to tell you some. Ban Ki-moon on Monday again, I'm going to call him a lot. He said South Sudan has failed its people. The leaders have failed its people. In case of Burundi, we have been failed since 2005. Because when this government started working, it didn't work for the unity of the people. It has always been there trying to enrich itself. So the negotiations, we all know, they are going to fail. It's money which is being put there just, to keep him going on, to keep the UN staff, keep their jobs, to keep everyone entertained. But they are not solving the problem. The result is the South Sudan. The agreement was signed last summer. What's happening now? And that's what we have. That's what we're waiting from Burundi. And I'm here standing that we cannot accept that the Burundi becomes the current South Sudan. They have the ways and meaning to stop this if they want. And that's why that I'm saying that as a student, I say that we need to speak to the African Union. We can no longer anyway. I'm sorry to say that we can't trust the leaders of the African Union now. Since that, about the Panama Papers. We have more than 4 people who have been indicted in the papers. That's a whole continent. We can't trust that our people may not even be involved. That's why that there's nothing being done. So we need to do what? The youth need to work together closely. We need to challenge these leaders. And we need to come up with a solution. These people, we can't trust them. We can't trust them any longer.
Have you tried to communicate to the UN system, UN officials? Have you tried to convey views, or have others tried?
Thank you, Mr. Matthew. I did. I sent letters, and I quoted him on the Impact Forum that was made on the 25th of May last year. I quoted him on Youth Day, that was also last year, on how he was encouraging the youth. And I've been just, I've been sending letters, including your letter, trying to speak on behalf of our inner city, doing march. I'm standing here and nobody has shown up. These people just come in and go out. It's like, I don't know if it's heaven or whatever. I don't know what they do in the building, putting on suits, going in and coming. Is it what they're encouraging? Yes, I'm going to school. I may finish school and get the degree and get the get the masters and get the doctorate. Are they just encouraging me to go out and in, getting the check without resolving the issues of the people? Is it what Ban Ki-moon accepted to do when he met President Reagan? He was like, no, I'm going to save the people. I wish to work for the United Nations. And people allowed him to do it. But I don't think that he's doing the same thing. He's not listening.
Well, he thinks he's going to be president of South Korea. But Western's here. I don't know if you cover that, but yesterday they've said one thing in the briefing room that turned out to be false. Nobody cared. It's like it was totally false. Yeah. They said, "Why didn't you correct it?" And there are reports all over the world that 25 people went back, and it's only 12. It was 7 when he said it. So I would encourage you to just keep it up. They say we the peoples. They say there'll be a new Secretary General. There's been a lot of claims made about improvements at the UN, but how this issue is dealt with, and even how a principled lone activist is dealt with, is going to be a test case.
Yes, Mr. Murphy. Thank you again for covering this, and I'm going to say again, Mr. Murphy, we are not waiting for any answer in the peace talks that they are doing. Mm-hmm. It's a game. It's a game that has been made in 1994 before the genocide. Mm-hmm. It's the game that has been played in this last August with South Sudan. They have so many examples. Mm-hmm. We have people going and enjoying sitting. How can we have talks with a president who's not even on the table? A president who can't even go out.
What about Hafsa Moussi on a more serious thing? What happened in that case?
Of course, we know that the government is so smart. It's working hard to corrupt everyone. It's working hard to put a blinder on every eye. But we know that each and every crime committed in the country is being committed by the government. Mm-hmm. There's nobody else who has that particular power to kill somebody and go clean, like the death of Hafsa, Honorable Hafsa. Mm-hmm. Hafsa clearly said that she was not really in a good communication with the government since when she went to visit the Mahama camp. She had received many threats from the authorities, and yet they ended up killing him. And
I think that it was Shinjiro that said, well, people are killed all over the world. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I saw it, but Abe Shinjiro, that's what I'm saying. Why do we still have such people that we know that they are just representing government that are just violating human rights laws? Why are they keeping, criminals in the building while that good people are around, Your eviction does not make any sense, if I may go and say it. I'm sorry to include it. But, you're doing what you're supposed to do for the people. I've been standing here for hours. Who have came out to see me? Has Shinjiro came out to see me? He doesn't care. He's waiting for the check. Yeah. Has anybody from the UN did that? Nobody cares. Mm-hmm. But you out here and yet you've been evicted. How about those people? With the new government, with the new system that we may have, all these people should know that they are going to be indicted for the crimes that they've been doing and covering too. As an MP here, he's covering crimes of the government. That's a crime.
I'll say one just as a comedic one. I'm turning the camera around here. There was an International Day of Yoga held right around the traffic circle. Many people, and there was a picture sent out of Albert Shinjiro with the head of DPI, Christina Gayach, and with another ambassador saying, "I'm very happy to be here." The only problem was he sent it from an account that wasn't his, and he said, "I am happy to be here," and it's an account that talks about Tutsi and Hutu and counting people, racially divisive. So you have apparently double life.
Yeah, thank you, sir. That's what happens, and that's why I'm saying the negotiations are just useless. They can't do anything. These people are being happy, to spend the money. They are happy to spend the money. To get into good places and talk honestly without reaching any decision. That's what Shinjiro does. Shinjiro is there to get the check. Shinjiro is there. He's happy to be in New York, of course. He's happy to be in the building with an air conditioning. While that's the people back home are dying of hunger. We have a total destroyed country, Mr. Murphy. A total destroyed country. The UN is not doing anything. And I'm going to say again, Mr. Murphy.
Sure.
I'm going to say, I know that he may just look at it. If they want to have a solution to Burundi, they must take the same measures that they are taking for South Sudan. Get ready the armies. Surround the country. Indict the people who are already known for, human rights violations. Arrest them, including, it's a small group like this. Then from there, we can talk. Negotiations are going to be always over and over. In 2000 we had negotiations. They've been broken. The constitution has been broken. Indeed, even now we can have another one. It's not an issue. They are going to break it again. And what's going to happen? People are going to keep on dying and dying. As survivor of 1993 genocide. That's the reason why I'm here. I'm saying that we can no longer tolerate this elite political group, which is being supported by the Western power. We need a thorough change. We need a thorough change, Mr. Murphy. We need a change. I mean, look at the people who are in the negotiation. 70% are the people participated in the last negotiation in 2000.
Right.
Nothing. I mean, nothing came up.
Yeah.
So what they're doing
Old
just
generation.
sort of exchanges.
Yeah.
It's rotating. They are trying just to
Nice
share
to
the
go to
power
Arusha.
in between. Go to Arusha, enjoy the coffee, get in the flag. That's what they do, and they are sponsoring them.
No, okay, that's great. This has been great. This has been good. Any final words for this particular Periscope?
Mr. Matthew, for this particular Periscope, I know that a lot of people know the work that you're doing, and we are really appreciative for the work that you're doing. For really, I mean, you have done much. Like I said in the letter, I don't know if they read it or not, but I know that through your reports, many people are their life are being saved back home, and that's because your report. And we cannot. I mean, we really appreciate it. And my last words again: Ban Ki-moon needs to work closely with the youth. Ban Ki-moon needs to understand that we understand the whole game, and we are tired of it. We are a small country. We can't have these Cold War issues going on in our countries. I mean, we can't control that. It's beyond our control. Let us have a brave elite. Let us live at least for even 50 years, man. We've been suffering. I mean, it's been 20 years that I've been outside without seeing my country, without seeing my home. I need to go home. I don't need to be I've been a refugee for 8 years in South Africa, yet they need me to be a refugee here. It doesn't make sense. So I'll come back and I'll come back and I'll come back again until when these people understand that the people that they are dealing with are wrong. And impunity is not supporting with, I mean, it does not go hand in hand with democracy. We need to start a country which is built on the law. Get these people indicted. They have means to arrest them. Let us speak to the people around. Organize the armies. I mean, he can have all the life of him. One person control 11 million in his hands and say, if I want you, you can live today. If I want you, you can die today. It doesn't make sense, Mr. Murphy. We want the world to help us. We want the United Nations to change. And thank you for your
Okay,
reports.
no, thank you.